I was 34 when my mother finally got the last word. And I was 34 when I made sure it would never be the final one. My name's Jordan. I was the first child from my mom's first marriage, a short, turbulent thing she rarely talked about. My dad left when I was 5. That was the story anyway. No details. Just, he wasn't a good man. At 8, I had a new last name. My mom married Rick, and shortly after, Caroline was born. Our picture-perfect family was complete, except it wasn't. From the beginning, I was the outsider. Rick wasn't cruel, just indifferent. He tolerated me, but he adored Caroline. She was bubbly, delicate, sweet. I was quiet, sarcastic, and apparently too intense for a child. I wasn't rebellious. I made honor roll, I worked through high school, I paid for my own college, while Caroline got a car at 17 for being sensitive and artistic. Whenever I pushed back or asked why things were different, Mom would sigh and say, "You were always difficult, Jordan. Caroline needs more support." Support meant money, time, love. After college, I left town. No dramatic exit. No blow-up. Just gone. Built a life on my own. Got into urban planning, then consulting, then property development. Nothing flashy, but enough to stop worrying about rent and make my own rules. Caroline stayed. She tried a dozen different careers: photography, crystals, fashion. Each time she failed, Mom bailed her out. Rick co-signed her debt. I watched from afar, silent, detached. We kept things cordial for years. Surface-level texts, birthday cards, a yearly guilt-laden visit at Christmas, where Caroline would parade her latest failed venture and Mom would find new ways to tell me I wasn't nurturing enough. So I stopped going. Then Mom got sick. Pancreatic cancer. She didn't tell me until it was terminal. Caroline was handling things, so I stayed away until the end. I said my goodbye at the hospital. She was too drugged to speak, but she squeezed my hand. I held on for a while, wondering if that meant anything. It didn't. 3 weeks after the funeral, I got the email from the estate lawyer. Simple, clinical. Mom left most of the estate, about $750,000 in assets, investments, and her home, to Caroline. I got a check for $10,000 and a letter. "Jordan, Caroline got more because she deserved more. You were always so difficult. I hope you'll understand one day. Mom." No explanation, no apology. Just that I stared at that sentence for a long time, not because it hurt, that had passed years ago, but because of how final it was. Like I was being buried in silence, but silence is a tool. Silence, when used well, can echo louder than any scream. Here's what they didn't know. I didn't need the money. What I needed was closure and the truth, and maybe a little cold, clean, legal revenge. See? Mom's house? Half the reason it was worth anything was because of me. 10 years ago, when I was still trying to earn her approval, I helped design the rezoning plan for the historic district. I helped preserve the neighborhood, gave her property a huge boost in value. I knew exactly who was interested in it now, so I made a call, not to Caroline, but to a developer I'd worked with before. The offer was already on the table. Caroline just hadn't accepted yet. She was trying to restore it into an art cafe or some crap with a GoFundMe that had raised about $73. I emailed her and said I wanted to claim my half of the title. She laughed. Literally emailed back, "You got 10K, Jordan. Stay in your lane." So I dug. Turns out Rick never officially added her to the deed. The house was still in Mom's name, and since it was part of the estate and not listed specifically under Caroline's name, it defaulted to joint inheritance. 50-50. Legally, she couldn't sell it or develop it without my sign-off. Now I had leverage. I offered her 2 options. 1. Buy me out. $400K flat, cash only. 2. or I'd sell my share to a developer with plans that would, let's just say, violate the aesthetic vision of her healing space. She lost her mind, called me a vulture, said Mom would be ashamed. I replied with the PDF of the letter Mom left me. Then I sold my half to the most aggressive, unapologetic nightlife group I could find. They didn't want to tear the house down. No, that would have been too easy. They wanted to repurpose it, retain the historic structure, but convert it into an upscale, ironic nostalgia lounge. And I had one request written into the sale contract as part of the branding rights I still held. Name the VIP section, the difficult one's revenge. 2 months later, I flew back home for the launch. The line outside wrapped around the block. Velvet ropes, neon sign glowing above the original colonial porch. Inside, they'd kept the staircase and wooden beams, but the rest was a symphony of black marble, LED floors, and deep bass. The VIP lounge, they'd converted Mom's old sunroom, the same one she used to lock me out of because it was Caroline's quiet space. Now it had its own bar, leather booths, and a gold plaque on the wall. In honor of the difficult ones, may they never stay silent again. Caroline showed up once, threw a drink at the wall, and screamed about disrespect. Security escorted her out. She tried to sue. She failed. She couldn't prove anything. Because I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't torch the place. I didn't threaten her. I just took what was mine and gave it meaning. I don't hate my mother. But I stopped trying to earn love from people who weaponized silence and called it parenting. I wasn't the perfect child. I was difficult. I asked questions. I wanted fairness. And in the end, I got it. Quietly, legally, elegantly. And every time someone walks through those doors and asks about the name of the VIP lounge, they get the story, the full, difficult truth.